Hello ladies and gentlemen. This video is going to explain some of the issues around collecting data. The example that we've got is a marine biologist wanting to collect some information about the movements of dolphins along the east coast of Australia. They want to do that by tagging the particular dolphins. As you can see, there are some potential issues with trying to collect this data. Mr. Savage, you've seen the scenario with the marine biologist and our dolphins. Can you explain any issues as you see to try and collect that information or that data?
Three main issues that jump out at me are the population size, the access to the data, and possible harm to the dolphins. With the population size, we have to consider how many dolphins are going to be tracked to the point that we can actually say we're tracking all the dolphins or most of the dolphins along the east coast of Australia.
Which is impossible to do, by the way.
Definitely.
So really, we just need to be able to get some sort of sample that represents that entire population.
Exactly. So a large enough sample to represent the population. Now, the access is also an issue. Would we even be able to get a large enough sample of these dolphins to represent the whole population? Do we have access to those dolphins?
It is pretty challenging. The east coast of Australia is a very, very large section of water, so to get access to all those dolphins is incredibly difficult.
Definitely. The third one is the possible harm to the dolphins. What effect are we going to have if we start tracking every single dolphin or a large number of these dolphins? What kind of stress could it cause them and even change their behaviour?
And we certainly don't want to affect the behaviour if that's actually what we're trying to monitor and collect data on.
No, not at all.
What we're now going to do is have a look at taking a sample and the quality of that sample, remembering that a good sample is one that is representative of the entire population. An example is here. We're after the average height of a 14-year-old girl at Sunshine Beach State High School. If we know that there's 170 girls in total, here's the sample that we've selected. We've gone to the basketball team, the under 15 girls, and we've selected 7 of those players. I want to know, is this a good sample? Does this sample represent the entire population? So Mr. Savage, you've heard the sample that we're going to collect to try and represent these 14-year-old girls at Sunshine Beach High School. What do you think of the sample?
It's not very good. Yeah. Straight away, we've got 170 girls and we're only talking to 7 of them or measuring 7 of their heights. We want to look at least 10% of the population to get a good sample, if not higher. So we need at least 17 students to have their height measured to represent the population.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Now, the other thing is that there is some bias in the data. You said you got the 7 samples from the girls' basketball team. Can be a pretty fair assumption to say that basketball players are quite tall.
Sure.
So do these 7 tall girls represent the entire population of 170? Probably not. So for that reason, I would say that sample does not represent the population very well.
So the fact that it was nice and convenient because I was walking past the basketball stadium and I saw those 7 girls, that kind of doesn't count for anything. It really does have to represent the entire population.
Definitely, very important.
I hope you've learned something about populations, samples and bias. So to summarise, the issues with collecting data really come down to 3 different things. We've got the size of the population, we've got access to that population, and really we've got destruction or harm associated with the population that we're actually trying to gather some data on.